Hey Guanatos Tacos managers, welcome to your certification training on mastering the weekly P&L. Let's dive right in. The weekly P&L is not just some accounting report. It's your scorecard as a manager. It tells you, clear as day, whether the decisions you made on the floor last week helped or hurt the business. If you can read it correctly, you can control your store's profit. It's that simple. So, why weekly? Why not just wait for the monthly report? Well, monthly P&Ls show you the results after the damage is already done. By then, it's often too late to fix things. Weekly P&Ls are different. They allow you, the manager, to catch problems early and correct them before they spiral out of control. Think of it like a small leak versus a flood. You want to catch the leak? Waiting until month-end is like waiting for the flood. Strong managers, the ones who consistently hit their numbers, review their P&L every single week without fail. Now, let's understand the flow of the P&L. Every single P&L, no matter the business, follows the same basic logic. First, revenue comes in at the top. This is all the money we make from sales. Then, costs come out. These are things like your food, your labor, your operating expenses, franchise fees, and any financial fees. What's left at the very bottom, after all those costs are paid, is your net profit. Each line on that report tells a part of the story of your week. So, where do you start? What's the very first thing you should look at? Always start with your prime cost. Prime cost is your total cost of goods sold, which is your food, plus your total labor cost. It's the biggest chunk of your expenses. If your prime cost is healthy, the business has room to breathe. But if your prime cost is high, profit will disappear. No matter how busy your store is. It's the most critical number on the entire report. After you've checked your prime cost, zoom in on your food cost. At Guanatos Tacos, a healthy food cost should be between 28 and 32% of your sales. If you see your number creeping above this target, it's a red flag. And usually, it points to one of three things: portioning issues on the line, excessive waste in the kitchen, or inventory counting errors. It's almost never about the menu prices. It's about what's happening inside your four walls. Next up is labor cost. Labor is the one cost that can get out of control the fastest. One bad scheduling decision can blow your whole week, or target labor range is between 25 and 30%. When you see your labor number is high, you need to ask yourself two questions immediately. Was my labor schedule adjusted to the actual sales we did? And was overtime controlled, or did we let it run wild? Proactive scheduling is key to keeping this number in check. Once you've analyzed your prime costs, you'll want to scan your operating expenses, or APEX. This section includes things like your utilities, supplies, and maintenance. For the most part, these costs should be relatively stable from week to week. What you're looking for here are unusual spikes or changes. Did your paper supplies cost suddenly double? Did a repair bill hit that you weren't expecting? Scan this section, look for anything out of the ordinary, and report those issues early. Most surprises in this category can be prevented with good attention and clear communication. And that brings us to the bottom line, net profit. This number is the final result of everything above it on the P&L. At Guanatos Tacos, our target for net profit is between 7 and 10%. It's important to understand that you don't manage profit directly. Profit is earned. It's the reward for disciplined execution across all of your cost categories: food, labor, and operations. When you manage those well, the profit takes care of itself. So, let's talk about the red flags that demand immediate action. A manager. You must act right away when your prime cost exceeds its target range. You must act when your food or labor costs spike significantly from one week to the next. And you must act when your net profit drops below our target range for the store. Ignoring these small problems allows them to become major losses that hurt everyone. Don't be the manager who waits. 2. Here's the one question that every manager should be able to answer after reviewing their weekly P&L. What specifically impacted my profit last week, and why? Was it high food cost because of waste? Was it high labor from an unexpected rush? If you cannot explain the numbers, the good and the bad, then you are not yet in full control of your business. The P&L gives you the data to have that answer. Let's be clear about the expectations. This is the standard at Guanatos Tacos. Managers are expected to know their numbers. Review and update the P&L at least once a week. Identify the key issues. And, most importantly, take corrective action. This isn't optional. This is how we define leadership in our restaurants. Know your numbers, review them weekly, and act on what you find. To wrap this up, remember this. Strong restaurants are not managed monthly. They are managed weekly. Day by day, shift by shift, with a check-in every single week using your P&L. This consistent, weekly control is how we build healthy, sustainable, and profitable restaurants for the long haul. This is the Guanatos Tacos way. Thanks for your attention. Now let's get to work.